That's fine. All right. So, hi. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
So, it's nice that you all have come to this interactive session. I thank each one of you for coming to this interactive session. And it's a very good platform which Mr. Sharma has provided to me and has given me an opportunity to talk to you. Right? It's really very nice of him and very nice of you people that you have, apart from your busy schedule on Sunday morning, you have come for this interactive session. Thank you very much for that. And now before I start with the presentation, we need to know each other. Right? Already I had a discussion with few of them, but few of them means these two people are still left. So let me just have a brief introduction of ourselves, of each other. I introduce myself and you introduce yourself as well. And then I'm going to start with the presentation, right? So my name is Abhisekh Dasgupta. I'm from a training institute called Dynamic Soft Skills Training Academy. It's a soft skills training institute. We conduct training sessions on personality development, on English communication skill, on interview skills, and on presentation skills as well, and effective public speaking. Right? Now, I have an industrial exposure of 14 years in both BPO and non-BPO companies. And so far my interest is concerned and my passion is to go for training and development and to move forward with this department and help students and professionals so that they can improve their quality of their life, both academically and professionally. For students, there should be an improvement in academic, and for professionals, there should be an improvement in the quality of their professional life. Right? So this is all about me. Now I want you to introduce yourself, and let me start from you. Let me just ask you I will ask you three things. First, your name.
Rahul.
No, let me finish. Okay, so first, you will tell your name, your company in which you are working right now, and what is your dream? Where do you see yourself 5 years down the line? What is your passion in your life? You want to do something in your life, right? So what is your dream in your life in the next 5 years? Is it very difficult, or should I change the question? Okay, all right. So
You can start from there.
Yeah.
Yes. Hi, my name is Noida. I'm working from KT
Please sit down.
Technology.
Please, you don't need to stand. I'm not a teacher.
My name is Mohit. I'm working with KT Technologies. My dream is to have a very relaxed and peaceful life after 5 years. To just work simply.
Are you running through any tension?
No. Just to enjoy.
So, is it not peaceful right now?
No, I just want to be a very relaxed and comfortable life. Just go in our office from in the early morning. Just come at 8, 9, only 8 hours job.
Means 10 to 6.
Yes.
That's your dream.
That's my dream.
So that means that you are not working from 10 to 6. You are working much beyond that. Okay.
Much more.
So you want to reduce the number of working hours
and get more income.
Get more. That's fantastic idea. I hope that your management listens to you, your appeal, and they act accordingly.
I think I will get that my goal within 5 years.
That's great. That's very nice. You.
First of all, thanking you for giving this opportunity. My name is Abhisekh Kumar, and right now I'm not doing any job.
Okay.
My goal after 5 years is that I want to achieve.
So what are you doing right now? You are not working means what you are doing. So you are doing something or the other, right?
No, actually part time I'm teaching to students.
That's great. That's very nice. Fantastic. And then?
And then yes, right now actually I'm.
So on which subject?
Accountancy, 11th, 12th student.
That's great. Fantastic.
And sir, part actually just I want to place a name in a society that everyone know by my name, by my profession, by my work. And after 5 years, I want to achieve. I want to fix myself in my life. Means जो भी मैंने सोचा है, what I have dreamed, I want to achieve
Try
maximum
to
things
speak
in
in
after 5
English.
years.
Try to speak it. Don't use Hindi words.
Yeah.
Because Hindi may both mind you. I won't be able to understand.
Okay, sir, it's
So try to speak in English.
Yes, sir.
Don't worry. See, what my motto is that I don't want to give any boring lectures. It's not a classroom session that I'm a teacher with a stick in my hand, and if I ask a question to him or Mohit, and he is saying that, "Sir, I don't know the answer," then stand up on the bench or get out of the class. I don't want to do all these things, because this is not a classroom session. It will be a discussion. It's an open forum. It will be a discussion on presentation skills. We are going to interact with each other. You are going to tell your experience. I am going to tell my experience. So it will be a two-way traffic, right? So because you all are professionals, most of them you are professionals, and we respect each other. So it's not that it's a student-teacher relationship. Fine? Please carry on.
So means normally means I want to achieve after 5 years. I want to means generate my name. Just I want a name in my society.
That's good.
And the second thing, I want to achieve all the things what I have dreamed.
Fantastic. What was your dreams? What are your dreams, sir?
So first of all, I want to give some things to my parents, so what they have sacrificed for me.
Fine.
And
Fine.
means so normally what everyone needs means normal. You can say means a big home, car, whatever.
Fine. Great. That's great. Fantastic. Excellent. Fantastic. You, ma'am.
So I am Sumita, and I am working in Samsung CNT as a civil document controller.
Okay.
And I have a dream. I will be
What exactly is the department? Is how?
civil document controller.
Yeah. What exactly is your job?
Exactly, job is in a civil department, and maintaining their documents. What they are not doing, they cannot do because they are.
Is it a back office operation?
No, it's not a back office operation. It's just to maintain their documents, what they cannot do. Because they are working at site, and they cannot sit in office, and they cannot do their work.
Okay.
So I maintain their documents
Okay.
on the
That's
behalf of their people.
That's a pretty responsible task. I
Yes,
appreciate
yes,
your job profile. That's pretty great. That's great. Thank you. Thank you very much. And you, sir? May I know your name, please?
So my name is Tarandeep Singh. Tarandeep Singh.
Tarandeep Singh. Okay, Mr. Singh, I'm asking everybody to introduce themselves, right? You need to tell me 3 things. What's your name, which you have already told me, Tarandeep Singh. And Mr. Singh, you need to tell me what is your profession, if you are a working professional, or if you are a student, you can tell me, yeah, I'm a student. And what is your dream in the next 5 years down the line? You have a dream, you have a passion to do something in your life. So what is that? Please.
So right now I'm working in Backpost. It's under the Ministry of Water. It's a PSU.
Okay.
And I'm into business
It's a
development.
public sector unit.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And I'm working in a business development division.
Business development. Okay. That's great. That's fine. So you need to meet a lot of clients and
Yes, on
customers
regular
as well.
basis. Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So you have
National
a
and international
face-to-face
board.
interaction as well.
Yes, sir.
That's great. That's pretty nice. Very good. And what's your dream? What's your passion in your life?
So basically right now my dream is to work in Google. So I'm trying right now for
So
business
you
development.
can go and directly meet Mr. Sundar Pichai.
Okay.
He's the CEO of Google.
Yes, sir.
So you can go and directly meet him. You can also write a letter to him. So I want to work in your organization.
Okay.
So please give me an opportunity for an interview.
Many
Sure, sir.
Okay, you have written a letter. Seriously?
In a mail.
Okay, that's great.
No,
That's did you get any reply?
no.
Okay. You haven't got it.
And it's not easy.
Yeah, she has the courage, at least to write a letter to the CEO of Google.
Sure.
I really appreciate that. Great. Fantastic. Fantastic. You, that should be the spirit. That should be the spirit. And sir, you?
So my name is Piyush Rana and I have work experience in Samsung Technologies, and it's been almost 5 years that I've been a part of Samsung, and I'm working there as a business executive.
Business executive.
We are dealing with many projects like website and internal portals with the service portals of different streams. So as far as my upcoming years are concerned, I got an opportunity in public sector also, so I'll be joining them and serving the nation somehow down the line.
Fantastic. If you can work for your nation, if you can serve your nation by some or the other way, nothing can be better than this. Nothing can be better than this if you can serve your nation. Thank you very much. That's pretty a good idea.
I'm also working as a social means in
Social
NGO.
worker?
Yes, and
Social
as
worker?
a maintaining NGO also.
All right. Okay. So you are attached with an NGO as well?
Yes,
Okay.
I am a member of an NGO and promote art and culture, and it's very nice to meet the new people who cannot talk, who cannot listen, and they are performing without knowing the rhythm.
Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. So you need to meet different categories of persons.
Yes, yes.
From different backgrounds.
I got an opportunity to meet that types of people, and they are performing without knowing rhythm, and they are performing very well, and they promote the art and culture, and they don't have a opportunity to.
So do you promote art and culture? Means you are in fact you are encouraging them
Yes,
to
yes,
to
I
go
am
for art and
encouraging
culture.
them. I am as a member. I have an opportunity to.
Fantastic, excellent, very nice, very nice. And I wish you all the best for this for this fantastic move in your life. And it is apart from your normal job which you are doing with Samsung,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Fantastic, that's great. You sir.
Okay. My name is Sajid. I am working in USG, and my dream is I want to be a manager.
Manager.
Yes.
Okay, that's great. And
USG.
you are working with?
USG, United Healthcare, at Noida sector 144.
USG.
USG.
Okay.
USG.
So what kind of company is that?
And companies
Means what is the company profile?
company provides a handle of the claims, service provided.
And which department are you in?
And my department is appeals. How to handle appeals, how to manage handles appeals.
Appeals.
Appeals, APEALS.
Okay.
appeals.
Okay. All right.
Different kinds of claims. I am handling the claims.
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 Claims means
Claims.
Claim.
Claims. Okay. Claims. Okay. Means you're in insurance or in insurance? Or in insurance?
Yes, insurance.
Insurance department. Okay. So you are handling claims. Means accidental claims or what kind of claims do you handle?
Healthcare.
Healthcare. Okay. All right. So you're handling healthcare claims.
Yes.
Okay. So you're getting a lot of inquiries for this.
Yes, sir. So
There's a huge lot of inquiries they come on
And-
healthcare.
yes, and my focus on there is a service provided of patient. And in this field, check out of service and where is service, which hospitals, all are checking.
Okay. So you need to visit hospitals as well.
Yes, sir.
Different hospitals. Okay.
Different hospitals.
Ma'am, my name is Abhisekh Dasgupta. I am going to discuss on presentation skills. It will not be a lecture. It will be an open forum, a discussion, an interactive session with you people. So I'm just asking for the introduction. And so can you please introduce yourself?
So my name is Priyanka, and still I'm second year.
Second year. Okay. In which college?
So it's Subharati University.
Okay.
Subharati University.
And okay, you are a student right now.
Yes.
So apart from your student, are you doing some part-time job or some any other activities apart from your?
No, sir.
No, you are not. You are fully focused on your education.
Yes, sir.
That's great. That's fantastic. So, and what is your passion in your life? What is your dream? What do you want to be? So you must have having a goal, a vision in your life. That yes, for the next 5 years down the line, I want to see myself as a CEO of the organization, as a manager of an organization. So what you want to be? What is your plan in the next 5 years down the line?
So I want to be as a good HR in
Good HR, okay.
Yes,
HR and admin. Yeah, that's great. That's fantastic. Excellent. So are you preparing yourself for that?
Yes, sir.
So what is your stream? This in second year. What is your stream?
HR, sir.
HR. Okay. So then that will be absolutely fine. I think it will be helpful for you in order to organize, in order to prepare yourself for HR and admin. That's great. That's fantastic. Very good. And you, sir?
Myself.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm afraid of asking you. Sorry. Next. Because you're in law, right? You handle legal issues. I'm sorry.
Instead of getting you ask him first, I'll see with.
No, please carry on. Please carry on.
Myself, Naren Kumar Shastri, and I'm working with the automobile industry as a manager administration and taking care of entire facility of Mahindra and Hyundai car dealership.
Okay.
And my passion is my work is my passion, and my dream is establish my own company in facility and administration.
Your own company. That's excellent. You will be an entrepreneur. You have a plan to become an entrepreneur in the next 5 years.
Well, sir, definitely.
Got it. That's great. Fantastic. Very, very good vision. You have a very good vision, but you have to implement your vision. You have to make it make it into practice. You have to bring it into practice. That yes.
Well, I'm start working on it, and I am doing some partnership also.
Okay.
Start and establish my own company.
Okay.
I'm working on it.
Okay. Fantastic. I wish you all the best in the near future, and I wish that you fulfill your dreams. You fulfill whatever dreams you have. You fulfill in the next 5 years. I wish you all the best. Thank you. Thank you. You, sir.
Hello, sir. Good morning. My name is Paramarish, and I work in a manufacturing company as an accountant. And after 5 years, I want to earn more money and travel the world.
Travel the world.
Yeah.
Okay. That's great. That's great. You have a good plan altogether. Right. So, and then I think, my friend, you need to get attached with a traveling agent.
My one of friend.
Or work in a traveling agency.
Actually, one of my friends is a travel agent.
So you can take the help of him, your friend. That I want to travel the entire world, and you please help me out. Right? That's great. Fantastic. Excellent. Very good. Very good. Or else you can do one thing. You can also open your own travel agency as well. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty difficult. And it's my apologies. Sorry. And you, sir?
My name is Rahul Jha. I am working in an internal as an auditor, almost 4 years. I wish to manage in an emergency.
Okay. Okay. All right. And what is your dream? What is your passion?
Manager post in emergency.
You want to still remain in the manager's post in the next 5 years as well?
Yes.
So you do not want a promotion. You do not want to excel in your professional career.
After 5 years.
After 5 years, you still want to be a manager.
No, assistant.
Right now,
right now you're an assistant. You want to be a manager in the next. That's great. Fantastic. Very good. Excellent. Thank you very much, boys, for introducing yourself. Now, before I start with my presentation, I'd like to ask you a question. Can you please tell me, anybody, do you have an experience of giving a presentation in front of the management, or your boss, or your superior, or your clients, or customers, anyone? So, is anybody who has an experience of giving a presentation? Yes. Please raise your hands. You three, right? So, can you please tell me what was your experience for the first time when you have given the presentation for the first time in your life? So can you please share your experience with others with us?
So basically I was nervous for the first time, but I was prepared technically because all the proposals that I have submitted, luckily we have got that. I have submitted 10 proposals and out of 10 I have got 9 projects for my company. So it was a plus point for me, and I prepared a presentation PPT, and I have included all the projects and all the tenders that I have submitted and all the ongoing projects and all the activities that I was doing. So I just explained that.
Explain that. Okay.
Yeah.
So were you mind full of fear and you were nervous, as you said that you were nervous, and where your palms were sweaty, your leg was trembling?
No,
Nothing of that sort. Okay. Then you're pretty smart. You're a very smart chap, I would say, because my first presentation was a disaster. In fact, it was a nightmare. One day, I want to share this story with you all people. One day my boss suddenly came to me on my desk and asked me to give a presentation. He said, Abhisekh, you need to give a presentation on customer service. How to handle customers over the phone in BPOs. When I was working with HCL, right? Now, what happened is that it was really a nightmare. It's not my cup of tea. It's not my cup of tea. I won't be able to do that. Sorry, sir. Because at that particular time, I was feeling that committing a suicide was more acceptable than speaking in front of the public. At that point of time. So I was so nervous. I was so bewildered. My hands were sweaty. In fact, I could not sleep the night previous to the day when I was asked to give the presentation. I could not sleep throughout the night. Even then, I got a very little time to prepare myself because it was only 6 to 7 hours to prepare the presentation, to practice the presentation, and to deliver the presentation in front of the management. So it was I could not make out what to do, how to start. In fact, if I go to the board and say this is the presentation skills, this is the points, and thank you very much, I cannot do that. You have to start your speech. You have to start of some other way. At least say good morning or good afternoon. That even I could not utter that good morning or good afternoon from my mouth on the very first day because I was so nervous. I was trembling with fear. And the entire presentation was a disaster. To be very honest, the entire presentation was a disaster, and God saved me that I could save my job. Because my boss told me that if it is repeated, then please we need to shake hands as friends. Thank you very much. So then he taught me, because it's very important to get a good boss. A good company is not so important rather than getting a good boss, because a good boss will teach you differently. A good boss will teach you in a different way, but a good company will tell you the process, how to work. So it's better to get and I was privileged, I was honored, I was thankful that I got a good boss like him, and he explained to me what went wrong in that presentation, what were my mistakes. And people learn from mistakes as well, right? In fact, failures lead to success. I hope everybody will be in the same page. And failures lead to success. If you commit more and more mistakes, you will be learning out of your mistakes, and it will be a learning experience for you. And that was what happened to me. I learned from my mistakes. And next time when I was given the opportunity to give a presentation in front of the management, and it was not management, it was client. The second presentation was in front of the British client, and 3 of them came from UK, and they were sitting and they were staring at me like that, and as if they are eating me up, and I had to give the presentation. So that was a better one, and because I prepared myself and I took the help of my boss as well, my seniors, my senior colleagues, my seniors, my supervisors, my boss. So I took a lot of help from them. And it was a teamwork. It was a teamwork. No one can be successful individually. I could realize at that point of time, no one can be successful individually with their individual effort. There should be a teamwork, a team effort. If you want to be successful, there should be a team effort. Even in Samsung, you people are working in Samsung, you people are working in different organizations. I think it is very natural, and in fact you will find that it's a team which is working. It's not an individual who is working in the organization. It's a team. So that's a team. You have to be an effective team player. You can be an effective individual, but if you are not an effective team player, nothing will happen to you. Nobody will respect you. Nobody is going to listen to your ideas. And your ideas, if nobody listens to your ideas, your viewpoints, then there's no point of staying in that company. So you have to be a very effective team player. So that's what I have done, and my presentation was a great success. So I think which you have told me that you are smart. You were smarter than me, because at least you have presented your points in the correct way, and your presentation was nice. I hope.
Yes.
Right? It was a nice presentation, but for my case, it was a nightmare. But I learned from my mistakes, because setbacks happen in their life. You find setbacks coming in. You find a lot of hurdles in your life. But if it's absolutely okay, my friends. In fact, it's not a lecture which I'm giving, but this is out of my practical experience, which I've gained from my practical experience, around 15 years. So this is where you learn from your mistakes. Your self-confidence grows when you do a lot of mistakes. If you do a lot of mistakes, your self-confidence grows, because you want to rectify those mistakes, because you are rectifying your mistakes time and time again. So you are building up your confidence mentally, right? So now so that's what was your presentation, right? Now can you tell me your experience, your first time experience?
Yes, sure. It was a day when my immediate boss asked me to present the workflow which we used to do in our office, and we need to present that on PPTs.
Mm-hmm.
So we have been given a week time to prepare for that presentation, but still for next 3 days we were blank, totally blank, that what should we write, what should be the presentation's main motive, what would be the objective of this presentation. So
what would be the content of the presentation?
Correct. We were not aware about the content, what should we write in the presentation. Mm-hmm. Then we only took 2 days, the last 2 days left for presentation day. We prepared a presentation on that 2 days only, and by the time we were about to start the presentation, we started the presentation saying good afternoon instead of saying good morning.
Okay, and that was before 12 o'clock?
That was at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
So that was the biggest mistake we did, and opening with a mistake will burst all the presentation. Then we...
Now, how did you manage that? You need to manage in the session as well, because if you cannot manage, then that will be a blunder.
We were not smart enough to manage that, but we started presentation talking about the presentation itself. We apologize for that. Sorry for the mistake.
See, I tell you something. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
That's okay.
Don't say sorry if you commit a mistake, don't say sorry in front of the audience. Because if you say sorry, then they will have a bad impression on you. Because how many times you will be saying sorry? Since you are giving the presentation for the first time, right? So how many times you are going to say sorry to the audience? Sorry, I have done that. I'm sorry, I have done that. I've said that. Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. They will get bored. Chalo yaar, ghar chale. It's better to go back home. Right? So don't feel sorry. Whatever mistakes you have done, you need to carry on with the flow. Good afternoon, sir. So, 9 o'clock in the morning. Good afternoon, sir. Then you carry on with the flow. You don't need to feel sorry and turn back. Sorry, sir, I have done a mistake. It will be good morning. So you don't need to tell them. Good afternoon, sir. You carry on the flow. Sometimes what happens, they do not recognize what you have done wrong. Because you are so fast, they won't be able to realize what went wrong. Audience won't be able to realize what went wrong. You can understand what went wrong, but the audience cannot, because you went so fast. Good afternoon, sir. How are you all? Did you have your breakfast? It's a nice afternoon. Thank you very much. And then you go on with it. Today I'm going to talk about, for example, communication skills. For example, on a product which is going to be launched in the market. That's fine. Carry on. Nobody is going to stop you. But you realize what you have done wrong. If you realize what you have done wrong, that's enough. You don't need to think about others, what others are thinking of you. You think of yourself and what went wrong for you. Because you are the person who is going to rectify yourself. No third person will be coming to you and rectify you. You yourself has to rectify. So that's pretty important that you realize your mistakes. Don't ask anybody to what was my mistake, and then improve on it. Right? Come on, tell me.
Then for that presentation, like how I prepared myself. I went home before the presentation and I stood in front of the mirror and I prepared myself. I was speaking to myself itself only, so that whatever the mistakes I may incur and in between the presentation, I may remove and rectify that before the presentation day. But though when we were in front of many eyes, it was like everybody is focusing on us, and we were the center point at that time.
Correct.
So
you were the center of attraction.
Correct.
Right?
Center of attraction was. I was thinking whether I have done some mistake. I have
whether your attire is fine.
Right, attire is fine or not.
Good.
Right. That was the things which were coming in the mind. Then when we started the presentation, as I told you, I started with good afternoon. Then later on, I realized that I was just speaking out the slides instead of clearing or asking other people whether they have understood that or not. So I have just finished 25 slides in I believe 7 to 8 minutes.
25 slides in 7 to 8 minutes? That's great. It's you travel more than Rajgani speed.
It happens at the time of presentation.
Yeah, absolutely. For the person it happens.
Correct. Yeah. So everybody was like, is the presentation over? I said yes.
And you got a lot of applause.
No applause, he said. They
were
amazed to see. They were amazed to see.
Because they were thinking that what he has said. Let me just realize.
They were expecting that this presentation may go on for 2 to 3 hours.
And
so
they got bored.
Maybe.
Yeah, they got bored. No, that's absolutely fine. It's okay. For the first presentation, you have done much better than us, than me. I have done a disaster. You have done a great job. You have explained the slides in 7 to 8 minutes. Even that I could not speak. You have at least said good afternoon, which I could not. So that's absolutely fine. Great. It's a good, very good, excellent. And where's you? Yeah.
Sir, I was giving the presentation in the 2008 first time. And I'm not confident to give the presentation on that time.
You were not confident, okay.
Yes, sir. Because this is my first time, and my seniors motivated to me to give the presentation and convinced me to give the presentation in the front of management. The whole management team seated there, and my MD is also there. So I'm not confident to give the presentation on that time. Okay. But mentally I'm prepared to explain myself and explain my presentation. And when I started my presentation, then I get more confident and then more confident and give the presentation and complete the presentation.
Absolutely.
So in the beginning and starting, I'm hesitated. Then I started myself and I finished my presentation.
Fantastic job. Well done. In fact, it was my presentation for the first time. When I returned home, I asked my wife, let's buy a ticket to Haridwar. Let's go out. Why? In a weekday. It's not even a weekend. It's not. Let's go out. Because for many years, we both were not alone. We both haven't spent time with each other. So let's go out. You have become very romantic nowadays. What happened to you? That's good. Let's pack your bag. Ask my son. He's 10 years old. He's studying in a school which is located at Noida. So we are going to pick him up from the school and directly go to the railway station. Take the train. Go to Haridwar. Stay for 2 days. Let's enjoy and then come back. Look, idea seems to be good, but did you face any trouble in the office? Everything okay in the office? Are you being able to retain your job? No, job is there. I have my job, but I have a trouble. So what trouble? What kind of trouble you have? See, I felt like crying in front of my wife. See, they are asking me to give a presentation on them tomorrow. The presentation, that's okay. Fine. What's the harm in it? And I just see which you don't remark on things which you don't know. Then I came back to my original character. Don't remark on such things which you don't do. Giving a presentation is a tedious task. Even death is acceptable rather than speaking in front of the public, okay? Do whatever you feel like, don't speak to me. That was at least, that was my reaction for the first time. So I thought of buying a ticket and go out from Delhi for the next 2 days, so that and switch off my mobile, so that my boss doesn't get in contact with me. That's what I thought initially. But I am blessed that I didn't do that thing, because otherwise that I wouldn't have learned from my mistakes. Right? So that's good, that's pretty good. And the rest of you, you don't have any kind of experience in giving presentations?
I have experience. That's why what my class presentation my 12th
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. So how was it? How was your
So actually, I remembered that time. Actually, I had a presentation on business subjects, and that's barriers of communication barriers. That was the topic, barriers of communication, and they have group presentation. So we have 4 students. It's 4 of our friends. So we have much of time. We had practiced more better, and means many of time we had presented, practiced in present of our teacher, class teacher. But we have to present that presentation in front of around 100 of students, and with principal sir also, and so we have much of practice. And but after time that we had practiced more better, and we have presented as well. But after time there was a curiosity also. So there was a question That actually was that if they what will be called if the communication is not presented means not in the way means if the other side means other parties
means what? How could be the communication if it is not presented in the way you want?
Yeah. Means there was question from principal sir that what that percentage of communication will be called if they are not decoded in the form what in the form means if customers are not able to understand the communication then what they will be called. So actually that was not from my not asked from my after a time means asked to some other person and then Miss teachers guided us in front of them that also means what you will call and then finally I got that miss that time my mind was blank.
You went blank.
Yeah, we could blank.
You went blank.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what they are seeing that actually that words are not touching to our blind. Means it's just like that go inside from this there and from this means the words are we could blank means we can't understand what they are saying. And after a hint from my teacher, I got that yes, that's your question. And then finally we realized I give the answer. That was no. If the communication is not communicated to the customer in the correct way, then that's called noise for the customer.
Noise. Okay.
Yeah.
Noise. Right.
So finally I give the answer, but after a hint from my teacher.
See, guys, what I want to tell you is that it's not a message I want to convey to you. That saying I don't know needs a lot of courage. If I don't know an answer, you can, if you can have that courage to say I don't know in front of others, that needs a lot of guts. It needs a lot of courage. Yes, sir, I don't know. But if you have that courage to say I don't know, then people will be around you to teach you the thing which you don't know. But if you keep that thing in your mind and you shy off from others, that I'm feeling very shy to ask, to say that I don't know in front of the others. So what others will think? They will think that I'm absolutely bogus and stupid, a person of no use. So if you think like that and you shy off from this, from your courage, then at one point of time you will find there's nobody around you to teach you. So friends, I would request, it's a humble request to you, even me, that please don't shy away from the things which you don't know. Try again and again. Ask as many questions as you wish. It may be foolish questions as well. It makes no sense. Those questions doesn't make any sense. But you are the person, when you are going to get the answer, you will be satisfied that yes, I got that answer. You will be satisfied with the answer. Let others goes to hell. Because you don't need to think about others, what others are thinking about you. Even if it is a foolish question, if it's a baseless question, where people will laugh at you, don't worry, it's absolutely okay. You are ask as many questions as much, because you are clearing your doubts, not the person's doubt. You are clearing your doubts. Whatever doubts you have, you are clearing out of that, because you are not clearing the doubts which the other person has. He may laugh at you. You are asking a silly question. It seems to be silly to him, but it's important for you. So please don't shy away to say I don't know, sir. Please tell me. I could not understand what you have explained. Can you please explain me once again? Right? So let's start. And thank you very much for sharing your experiences. It was nice and it was very, in fact, interesting as well. So my first point is that which I haven't mentioned. I have brought a PPT, but because of the lack of this project, I could not show you. But that's absolutely okay. I'm going to show them on the whiteboard, right? First point is, there are two. I have subdivided my presentation skills into two parts. First is that first question is, what is the importance and requirement of a presentation in commercial organizations? First question is that. You can note it down if you feel like. What is the importance or requirement of a presentation in commercial organizations? My writing skills is like an art, so please don't mind, right? It's like an art, so please don't mind. If you don't understand, please ask me. So can you read this?
Yes.
Is it readable?
Yes.
Okay. So because I have full confidence on my writing. This is importance of presentation in commercial organizations, right? In commercial organizations, right? Now, the importance of presentation skill. Why presentation skill? Why presentation is important in a commercial organization? Can anybody tell me? Why do we need to give presentation either in front of the boss, or in front of customers, or in front of clients, or in front of your superiors, or in front of the management? Why it is important? So, do you have an idea? Can anybody tell me?
Presentation is more important because if someone has some idea regarding a specific topic, a specific subject, they have to share their ideas to.
Correct. Absolutely correct. You're brilliant. Fantastic. This is the first point. You can share your ideas. You can exchange your viewpoints. You can exchange your opinions with the management, with your boss. Whatever you are thinking, you need to present that idea in front of the boss in a structured manner. That is where the presentation is required. You are having an idea about, for example, if you are launching a product in the market. For example, Samsung is going to launch a product in the market. So the product, the presentation which they are going to do, what are the things which are important, which are required? First is the features of the product. What are the features? What will be the features of the product? Secondly, whether the product will be demanding in the market, whether people are going to buy that product. Benefits of the product. What are the benefits of the product? Number 3 is the demonstration of the product. You need to demonstrate the product which you are selling, which will be launched in the market. So these are the ideas which you have in your mind, but you need to present those ideas in front of the management. How will you be able to present those ideas if you don't have a PowerPoint presentation? So this is a structured manner where you're going to present your ideas. First point. That's very good. I like your answer. Number 2 is, what can be the second point? First, exchange of views, exchange of ideas. You have your viewpoints, your opinions, your whatever things which you're planning for that, you are presenting in front of the idea in a structured manner. That's the first point. What can be the second point?
So to make understandable all the topics and subjects, what we have ideas, to make understandable to all the persons, all the viewers.
Correct. Absolutely. Spot on. Thank you. So this is the second point, so that the management has a clear understanding of what you are trying to explain. That is why the presentation is required. Because management needs to understand what you're trying to explain. What is your idea? How are you presenting your ideas? So what exactly is the story of that idea? So you need to present. The management needs to understand. So it becomes understandable to the management. They can get a clear idea, clear understanding that what is the benefit or what is the content or subject which I'm trying to explain to them. That's the second point. And that is the reason why presentation is required. And what is the third point?
Convince. Explain and convince of your presentation.
Correct. Any more?
SWOT analysis. SWOT analysis.
Strength, weakness.
Opportunity and threats analysis.
To some extent, yes.
Sir,
To some extent, yes. Yes.
so there is a feedback also because to know that the audience is getting a point or no. So there is a feedback session also, means to getting a feedback from the customer.
Yeah, that's at the end of the presentation. You have a question and answer session. That's a feedback session, which I'm going to do here also as well. But that's at the end. But right now, what I'm trying to explain to you is that what is the purpose, what is the importance of the presentation? Why people will be giving presentations in the companies, in front of the management? Why is it so important?
It could be a documented process or the documented portfolio of yours or your team or your down the line people, which can be presented to higher authorities in future if they are asked to. So that is more important. Like verbally you cannot explain everything, that yes, we are doing these many jobs and these many things in a process which goes in such a way, but while presenting that and while having a documented kind of thing for that, we can present it easily and we can share that easily with the higher management of managements also.
Correct.
Or at the time any other client visited our organization, we can show it to them that yes, these are the kind of activities or the process which we follow, and we have documents on that.
So you are saying that it's a documented process which we can present in front of the management, and so that the management will be able to understand what I'm trying to explain. It's a documented process. That's absolutely fine. But to my opinion, what I feel is that, in fact, you are the best judge to decide. What I feel is, it indicates, it clearly shows how much knowledge, how much knowledgeable you are on that particular content or the subject. The presentation clearly represents how much knowledgeable you are on that content or the subject which you are trying to explain. So first point here, it represents your viewpoints. It represents the clear understanding. You are making the management clearly understand what you are trying to explain. Number three, it's your knowledge on the content of the subject we are trying to display in the PowerPoint, which you are trying to explain. So it reflects your knowledge, right? Means how much knowledgeable you are on that subject, how much confidence you have on that subject. And if you have confidence, if you are being able to present, then only you will be able to present in front of the management. Otherwise, if you don't have that confidence, that you are shaky with the content of the subject, you are a bit hesitant, you don't know what to do, what to speak, how to speak, then there's no point of giving a presentation. So presentation, when you are giving a presentation, that means it clearly reflects your knowledge on the subject. Reflects on the knowledge of the content which you are trying to explain. So these are the basic 3 points. So first is, if you wish, you can write down the 3 main points. First is, it will reflect the viewpoints and the opinions to the management. I have written in an abbreviated for management. It's AGMT, so you can don't feel that it's called management, right? So your viewpoints. Number 2 is understandable. understandable to the management. Number 3, knowledge on the content. So these are the basic 3 points for which the presentation is really, really important in an organization. Once I finish, then I'm going to, in fact, switch over to the next subtopic. Have you all done with this?
So can we also write with knowledge there is a confidence and communication skill also?
Absolutely. In fact, confidence and communication is, I'm going to explain in my next topic, because the subtopic which I'm going to explain right now. There I'm going to explain about this. There are few steps which we need to follow. Now, giving a presentation only for the sake of presentation makes no sense. It has to be effective. Presentation needs to be effective. Why? Because people will listen to you, and if they respond. If they doesn't listen to you and they don't respond, so there's no point of giving a presentation. People are not listening to me. They're shuffling with the mobile. These are the attitude of the audience. Very boring. कब तक खत्म होगा यार, भूख लगा यार, चल कुछ बाहर में पूरी सब्जी खा के आते हैं. If these are the attitude, then means the presenter is not being able to convince the audience. They may keep quiet. It may happen that they won't be telling you anything, but their facial expression, immediately the presenter will be able to understand whether you are listening to me or not, or your mind is somewhere else. So it has to be effective, and that's the reason why the presentation needs to be effective. Why effective? Because it draws the attention of the audience. A good presenter, when he starts his speech, the audience gets engaged. Presenter है, क्या public speaker है यार, शुरू से ही ऐसा कर रहा है. So there should be some difference. There is some difference between a good presenter and an ordinary presenter. There is a small difference. What is this difference? Because ordinary presenter, what you have done in your first presentation, you have read out the slides in 7 minutes. Right? That is called ordinary presenter. You are very ordinary. That's very normal. But a good presenter will try to make the presentation effective so that people listen to you and they respond. If you say, I slept on the road one day and a dog came over me, then people will try to at least laugh, and that is called the response. That's what you need from the audience, right? So first presentation, or effective presentation, I just like to, you can, if you wish, you can just note it down. The first step for effective presentation. In fact, you can, these things which you can apply practically once you go back to your office, then you can apply, if you are given a second chance of giving a presentation, you can apply these things. I think it will work, because it has worked in my case as well. Effective presentation. Effective presentation. Rules for effective presentation. So we just need to follow some rules, some basic ideas where if it is implemented, if it can be implemented, then what I feel is that it works. It works. Number one is thorough research on the topic. First is you should have a thorough research on the topic, on the content which we are going to present. Because if you do not get a thorough research on the topic, then what happens is that you will fumble, you will stammer, you will say, actually what happens, today the lights are on, the AC is fine, and the other things are all right. Is the camera working? Okay, all right. That means you are taking time because you are not thorough with your topic. You are in fact obsessive. You are thinking what you are going to speak. You are going to speak, or how you are going to start your speech. You are thinking because you are not thorough with your. You did not get or did not done. You haven't done any research on the topic. So research on the topic is first. Thorough research on the topic. You have to have a thorough knowledge on what you are going to present. That's most important, right? Secondly, number B is practice. Whatever research you have done on the topic, you need to practice diligently. You have to practice diligently. You have to practice day in and day out. Out of 24 hours, at least I think, since you all are professionals, you are working, you are busy with your whole schedule throughout the day, 6 days a week. Only you are getting Sunday as a holiday. So I think can you spend at least out of 24 hours, can you spend half an hour to 1 hour for practicing this? I hope you can. I hope you can. Right? So you can at least spend half an hour to 1 hour to practice these on the presentation skills, so that if you practice over and over again, practice makes a man perfect. There's an English word. There's an English proverb that practice makes a man perfect. So if you practice diligently, then you will be able to get a thorough knowledge. Your self-confidence will grow. You will have a better idea of what you are trying to explain or what you will be speaking in front of the audience. So practice is very, very important. You have to practice day in and day out. At least spend 1 hour every day to practice. Otherwise, practice. What are the benefits of practicing? First is that your communication skills gets better. Your communication gets better if you practice diligently. This is the first benefit which you get. Secondly, your self-confidence. These are the two things which gets better if you practice diligently. Your communication skills gets better because you are prepared. You are prepared for the presentation. You know what to say in front of the public or in front of the audience, in front of the group. And secondly, self-confidence builds up. You are confident that yes, I can do it. Yes, I can achieve it. Yes, I will be successful. I will give a presentation that will rock the stage. It will be a rocking presentation. So your self-confidence grows. See, before giving a presentation, you always need to in fact keep in mind that wipe off all negative thoughts about yourself. Wipe off all negative thoughts. That's a first and foremost important point before giving a presentation. You consider yourself to be the best. I'm the best presenter in this company. Nobody can be better than me. Wipe off, I can't do it. मेरे को क्या होगा, मेरे को क्या होगा, ये मेरे को नहीं हो पाएगा यार, this is not my cup of tea, नहीं होगा. I'm absolutely क्या बातें करूँगा, मुझे उसके सामने जाके क्या बातें करूँगा, वो सब लोग मेरा तरफ देखते रह जाएगा और वो तो मेरे ऊपर हंसेगा. These are all negative attitudes. So you need to wipe off those negative attitudes. To think positive. That yes, I can do it and I will be able to do it. No matter what happens. First presentation there will be a lot of mistakes. Second presentation there will be 70% mistakes. Third presentation there will be 40% mistakes. Fourth presentation there will be 20% mistake. And when you will give the sixth presentation there will be no mistakes. So this is the way you need to improve. Because there is no harm of making mistakes. Nobody will tell you anything. Only some people will laugh at you. That's okay. That's okay. How does it matter? If I laugh at you, how does it matter? Will it change your life? Your name please? विवेक. विवेक कुछ नहीं होगा उसको. क्या बातें करते हैं यार, क्या कैसे बातें करता है, कैसे क्या बातें कर रहे हैं. How does it matter to you? It doesn't matter anything. In fact, you go back home, you will forget about what Abhisekh Dasgupta has told you. He is a bullshit guy. Doesn't matter much. It doesn't matter. But you will learn from your mistakes. You have to learn from your mistakes. That's the main idea, right? So this is the self-confidence, and this your communication gets better. Your self-confidence goes up, right? The third point is that is a very important point which I want to discuss is your body language. See, body language is very important. In presentation skills, body language, I will tell you the percentage which researchers has confirmed, studies have confirmed that if I draw up a pie chart, then this is 55% is body language in any presentation. In any presentation, 55% is in your body language. Content, remaining 40% is your how do you speak, voice or tone. How do you speak? How is your voice? How is your tone? Whether it's your tone sounds confident, whether your voice sounds confident, that is 40%. And the content which you are trying to explain, the subject, is only 5%. So it hardly matters what you are explaining. How are you explaining? That's most important. Yes. Okay. So how are you explaining that's more important? 40% is your voice and tone, 55% is your body language. For example, I stand like this. Good morning, students. Good morning. How are you? Okay. And how's your day today? Fine. Okay. So then you will realize that यार बंदा कैसा है यार ठीक से खड़े नहीं हो सकता है वो presentation क्या देगा? This is one point. You should not face your back towards the audience. You are doing like this. Rules of effective presentation. Thorough research on the topic and practice diligently. You don't know what the audience are doing. Whether they are showing this at your back or whether they are cutting a joke. You don't know what they are doing because your back is being faced towards the audience. So that's one point. So, अरे तुम देख ही रहे हो ऑडियंस की तरफ तो क्या प्रेजेंटेशन दोगे क्या कर रहा है नहीं कर रहा है तुमको पता ही नहीं है you don't even know what they are doing. Right? This is absolutely negative. You should not do that.
This is what he has experienced.
I am facing this problem in company. Same problem.
Okay, now you should not face your back towards the audience. You should always face your audience. If you don't face your audience, then how will you be able to know what they are doing or whether they are listening to you or not? You are giving your presentation as what he has done. He has given his presentation with the next 7 minutes. He is not even concerned whether people are listening to him or not. My job is done. I have given my presentation. My job is done. That's fine. अरे यार उसको तो सुनने तो दो उसको तो पूछने तो दो कुछ questions. वो तो सवाल भी हो सकता है अंदर ये कैसा हुआ ये कैसे करेंगे ये कैसे करेंगे वो ना छोड़ो यार वो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है जो मेरा मर्जी मैं दे दिया
गेट पीछे बैक साइड पे कोई गेट नहीं था नहीं तो ये तो गेट से ही बाहर से टाइम हो जाते हैं कि मैंने कर दिया.
So this is the case. So don't show your back towards the audience. Don't fold your hands like this. Your posture should be like this. Stand apart. Hands should be open. Your arms should be open. Not like this. Because it shows that you are not accepting what they are saying. You are not accepting their viewpoints. So your arms should be open. It should be open, right?
Okay.
Now, so this is your neck. Your neck should be not too high, not too low. It should be in the middle. So that you can turn around your neck to you can have an eye contact with everybody. I should not speak keeping an eye contact to a particular individual. To Mohit only. Yes, this is the presentation skills, and you need to have a thorough research on the topic. क्या हो रहा नहीं हो रहा इस तरफ कुछ पता नहीं है. You need to have this. Your communication skills get better. Your self-confidence get better. अरे भाई उस तरफ भी देख लो. उसका भी तो सवाल हो सकता है कुछ. They can ask you questions as well. Right? So in order to maintain an eye contact with everybody, you need to keep your neck in a normal position, not too high, not too low. Right? So this is the third point. Now, this is very important because it indicates your self-confidence. Because if you stand straight with your with your shoulders like this, and with your hands open, with your arms open, and with a high neck, with a normal neck, and stand straight in front of the audience, with a smile on your face. Smiling is very, very important. Friends, I tell you, if you don't smile, audience won't accept you. Smile can change a woman's life, a man's life. If you greet for somebody, hi Monica, how are you? This is the case, and how are you? There is a difference.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
You ever had a word cast? It's not me. Vivek, right? Hi Vivek, how are you?
I'm fine.
Yeah. Hi Vivek, how are you? How are you? तो देखो उसका वॉइस भी लो हो गया पहले जब मैं बोला था यस फाइन फाइन अभी डर गया था अरे क्या क्या होगा मार देगा कुछ होगा नहीं this is not the way. You have to have a smile. That is one of the main traits of body language. So body language counts. Your neck should be apart a little bit. Your shoulders should be straight. Your neck should be normal, and your arms should be open, so that you are being able to explain the audience in the right manner. Any questions? Do you friends? Do you have any questions till now? Any questions? No questions. कैसे हो सकता है यार? मतलब presentation पे boring है. Should I dance or sing something so that people can get encouraged? हाँ? कोई question नहीं है? सर आपने क्या कर दिया? कोई question ही नहीं है?
These all are brilliant. I've chosen them from the different segments.
Right. In fact, you have picked up the right candidates.
Best among best.
Best among best. Okay. Now, this is the third is body language, right?
Sharp-minded.
And fourth is
All that. Yes, I know. Thank you.
fourth is communication skill. Now, friends, what do you mean by communication skill?
So the way to communicate.
Way to communicate, that's absolutely fine. But what are the things which are required? What are the things which are required for a good communication?
You should be confident enough. You should not stammer.
Correct.
And you should know what you are speaking.
Yes. Right. So communication skill is the better you can communicate with the people, the better will be your presentation. Right? Communication is two types. First is verbal and is non-verbal. Non-verbal means your body language. That is also a type of communication. Right? So what we have explained right now. We have discussed right now about body language. So this is one type of communication. And verbal presentation means you talk to the person face to face or over the telephone, either over the telephone or face to face. You are interacting with that person. You are communicating with the person in a face to face manner. And non-verbal may be your body language, or it may be writing letters or emails as well. That is non-verbal. There also you need a good communication skill. So the better you have the communication skill, the better will be your presentation. You will be a better presenter, right? Now communication skill is, so in some cases you will find that
Also, the message or the emails, it will be counted in verbal or not verbal? Because these are words also.
No, it will be non-verbal because you are not speaking. You are writing the letter or the email. Body language, emails and letters, because you are not speaking to somebody. You are writing. You are conveying your message through emails or letters. So that is the reason why you are not speaking to somebody else. If you are speaking to somebody else, that means it's a verbal communication. It's a verbal communication, right? Now, communication, it has been seen that communication is a good communicator can speak in Hindi as well as English. There are two types of communication. In fact, in the regional language and in English language. Right? For example, I have seen, I don't know whether you have heard his name or not, Sandeep Maheshwari. You have seen, he is a motivator, speaker. He always speaks in Hindi.
Yes.
Right? He always speaks in Hindi, but he is such a brilliant speaker that he motivates within a fraction of a second. He connects to the audience within a fraction of a second. It needs 5 minutes. It takes 5 minutes to connect to the audience, to get a connection with the audience. He's a brilliant speaker, but he doesn't speak in English. He always speaks in Hindi, and he's a motivating. It's a motivational speaker. He motivates. He always gives a motivational speech. Now, these are the things which we need to know while giving a presentation, because you need to first know your content. You need to know how well you will communicate, how well you will be able to communicate the subject or the content which you are trying to explain. Number 2 or 3 is you need to have a good body posture. Your body movement should be perfect, so that people start liking you. They love your speech, start loving your speech. Right? Now, the third, this is the communication skill which we have discussed. Now, this communication skill is being accompanied by one thing that is very important in communication, which is speaking clearly. You need to speak clearly so that audience is being able to understand what you are trying to explain.
It means whatever you trying to explain should be in a very clear
and crystal
understand.
It will be as clear and crystal as water, so that people will be able to understand what you are trying. Speaking clearly is very, very important, because even if you give a wrong information, and if you speak clearly and with confidence, people won't be able to understand. That's not in my case, sorry. I'm not giving you any kind of wrong information. But sometimes it happens, right? So, but you need to manage on the stage. So this is, if you speak clearly, that will prompt your audience to get engaged, to get more engaged with your speech. Right? Now, speaking clearly, if you want, you can note down. It's a communication skill, and the fifth point is speaking clearly. There should be, speaking clearly in one word, we can say that it's a clarity of your voice. There should be a clarity in your voice, in your tone, whatever you are saying, right? And the last point is, and the most important point which I want to discuss with you people, is connection with the audience. You have to keep your audience engaged. Otherwise, there's no point of giving a presentation, whether you are giving a presentation in the company, or you are giving a presentation among your friends, or you are giving a presentation in front of your boss, superior, or any Tom, Dick and Harry. You have to keep him engaged. How to keep him engaged? First, there are few things for which the audience needs to be kept engaged. You can apply this in your own companies as well, if you are asked to give a presentation. First is that you can ask a question. You can start your speech with a question. What I have done today. You may have realized, you may have seen that I have started my presentation with a question. That how many of you has given a presentation for the first time in your organization? That was my question. So you can always start your presentation with a question, because it will help the audience to start thinking. Their brain gets activated. Their brain starts getting activated. They will start thinking. They're thinking about the question which you have asked. That means they have become active. They are not in a relaxed position at that point of time. They will lean forward. They will lean forward and they will think that, what will be the answer to this question? You may keep the audience engaged by asking a question. Secondly, you may engage your customers by telling a humorous story. You can start your speech with a story, a very humorous story. That once I was walking along the road, and then there was a banana banana peel that was lying on the road, and I slipped. And pura ho gaya mera kaam. So in this way you can continue the story, so that the person gets engaged, and they laugh at you, at your joke. They laugh at your postures, your movement. Then, so what happens? The audience gets active. People to whom you are speaking gets active. So telling a humorous story is a very, very it's a good tool to get the audience engaged. Telling a story. You start your speech with a story. Right? So once upon a time, so when children, we used to tell stories to children, to kids. Once upon a time, there was a lion in the jungle. Then what did they do? They used to lean forward. They were lying on the bed. I'm going to tell you a story, my son. That's a very interesting story. Let me tell you. I said, yes, father, tell me a story. Once upon a time, there was a lion in the jungle, and he leaned forward. Now, there is a different way to you professional people. I won't say once upon a time, because you are all professionals, you are working in the organization. So there's no point of telling you once upon a time. So there is a different way of telling you once upon a time. There's a different way of telling once upon a time. So you can start with a story, like a humorous story, like I was just I was traveling on train for a business trip, and then because right now I don't have any humorous story in my mind, I'm so sorry, but this is the way you can start, that you can carry on with your story as well. Right? So you need to think about that story. It may be a vague as well, that's okay. It may not be a practical experience in your life. It's absolutely vague, but it's okay. You can just relate that story, you can make up a story, and then you can tell it. Right? Now, what happens is that, or number 3 is you can tell some little bit of your practical experience. You can start with your speech with a practical experience, with your own experience, where the people they're getting engaged. You can tell any of your practical experience which you have, right? And 4th is that you can give a quotation of a famous person. You can start your speech with a famous quote. Bill Gates once upon a time told such and such. Steve Jobs in his presentation quoted such and such. So there are few things which Jack Ma once said, that every failure, mark it very important. I was really thrilled by that quotation. Jack Ma is the co-founder of Alibaba. He once upon a time, he told in one of his press conference, he told that failures can, and because you are learning from your mistakes, you will implement that, you will rectify those mistakes, and you will implement in your next course of action, which will bring a revenue for you. That is the reason why every failure is a source of revenue for you. It's a brilliant quotation which he has quoted. Because failures are not, he doesn't consider failure as a failure. He considers failures as a path to success. It's a way to success. Do not be afraid to fail. Do not be afraid to fail. Do not be afraid at all to fail, because failures will build up your confidence. Failures will help you to identify your mistakes. But never ever, friends, this is a friendly advice, never ever give up. Whatever may happen to you, never ever give up. Try again. Right? So now this is how you keep your audience engaged. Now these are the six steps for an effective presentation. If you follow these steps, I am confident that your presentation will be an awesome presentation. If you follow these steps, thorough research on the topic, practice diligently, body language, perfect body language. Okay, one thing I'd like to inform you, there is another point which is very important, and that is the first impression is the last impression. That people say that first impression is the last impression. Is your dress code in the presentation. What will be your dress code? Dress code is very, very important. How will be your attire? It doesn't mean that you need to wear a suit or a coat. It's not necessary to wear a coat or a suit while giving a presentation or wear a tie. But your dress code you should have a formal dress code. With shirt, perfectly tucked in. Then if you wear a brown pant, it will be at least it should have a parity with your shirt, the color of your shirt, and with your belt as well. The belt should always be brown. If you wear a brown pant, so there should be a parity. There should be a similarity with your with the attire which you wear. Right. So dress code is very important, because you should be wearing a formal dress code while giving a presentation. Wearing a casual dress code is not at all acceptable, and you are all professionals. You are well aware of that, because in office, wherever you go to office, you will wear a formal dress code. You do not go to office wearing a casuals with a t-shirt and a jeans on. In some organization, I know that on weekends, during weekends, you are allowed to wear casuals, right? Even in my organization as well, where I used to work, in HCL, in Barclays, in British Airways, and we used to wear casuals on Saturdays, on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Sunday as well. So these 3 days we are allowed to wear casuals. But if the company allows you to wear casuals, that's absolutely perfect. But even if it's a Saturday, even if it's a Friday, and you are asked to give a presentation on Friday or on a Saturday, my advice is that it's better not to wear casuals, even if the company asks to wear casual on that day, because it reflects your personality. It will show your personality, whether you are well groomed or not. Right? So it reflects your personality. So it's advisable for me that don't wear a casual dress, wear a formal dress. It should not be. It is not necessary you need to wear a tie or a suit, but wear as a casual dress, a formal outfit, so that people, once you stand in front of the audience, in front of the management, in front of group, they will first looking at your attire, they will start liking you. Because whenever in an interview, you have all gone through an interview process, right? Most of you have gone through an interview process. whenever I open the door and may I come in, sir, and I walk from the door down to the interview table, if I walk along, then the interviewer, your interview starts from there only. It's not that when he starts questioning you, it's not that the interview starts from that, there at that point of time. Interview starts when you step inside the door, when you step inside the room, right? So interview starts from there. What an interviewer, what does he see as a candidate? What does he see in you as a candidate? As a candidate, he sees your attire, how well groomed you are, your hairstyle, your walk towards the table, towards the interview table. How are you walking? How are you walking, and how is your dress? Whether you have a smile in your face or not, right? And whether you have an eye contact. I open the door and step in and I do like this. Then at that point of time, you are rejected as a candidate. You are rejected as a candidate. He won't ask you a single question. Thank you very much, Abhisekh Dasgupta. Thank you very much. If you wish, we are going to call you later on. Thank you for coming. That's it. I will share a beautiful story for interview skills. It's not a part of my subject, but I like to share it with you all because all of you are working in companies. Now, there was an interview round, and the person who was taking the interview was a team manager. The person who is coming inside the interview room, whoever is coming inside the interview room, he used to ask him that write something on the board. He never used to ask any question. He always used to ask a question, write something on the board. You're feeling sleepy, you can have a glass of water as well.
Yes, I can.
Yeah, sure, please. Or you can, I cannot offer you a tea or coffee.
It's on the plate.
No, it's, I know that my session is very boring. So should I do something else, or do you want me to end the session right now? It's enough. Sorry, it's enough. Both हो गया, अभी बंद करो. So let me I'm going to end the session by telling the story, by sharing a story with you. Now, the person who was interviewing that candidate, he was asking everybody, whoever was coming into the room, he was asking him to write something on the board. They used to each candidate used to write something, Java, some of the persons used to write, I love my country, I love my company, and some of them have written even worse than that, which I cannot tell you. But that was even worse than that. So, and at that point of time, he used to tell those candidates, thank you very much, you're off.
But he was asking to write something.
He was not asking a single question to them. He used to, he only asked a single question, write something on the board.
He was asking to write something, S-O-M-E-T.
Correct. But they did not find any clue to it. They are thinking that sir is asking to write something on the board. So I'm writing I love my country, I love my company, I love this and that, I love reading books, listening to music. But that's what not his intention was. His intention was to write something on the board. So there was a guy, the last guy who came, and he said that, you're the interview? Yes. Then write something on the board. And he wrote something. Then he started asking questions. So you need to connect to the interviewer, what he is trying to tell you. So it's a huge topic. It's it's a vast topic. Which, if Sir gives a second opportunity, and if you all people gives a second opportunity to me, then I'm going to explain to you in details. But it's a huge topic, and I have a lot of videos, and I've captured a lot of videos for that. I can show you videos as well. But today time has run out, so I need to just end the session.
Not a problem. We can have a tea break. In between, you can informally talk to them, and you can share that video and show that video, and then you can end up the session after the tea.
Okay, that's absolutely fine. So, so this is what is presentation skills. So, have you noted all these points? Everybody has noted all these points. Right. So, wearing. The last point is wearing a formal dress. Wearing formals. So these are the points for effective presentation skills, and I hope that everybody who has already given a presentation and who will be giving a presentation here to their company, in their organizations as well, if they follow these steps, if you follow these steps, I think, and I'm confident enough that your presentation will be much better than the previous one. So this is and how I want. Then now there's a tea break. You can have a tea break for 5 minutes. Then I'm going to show
The first topic we have covered that the importance of presentation. Why the presentation is so important. And there we have covered that there should be a proper opinion or subject or a view or ideas to present, and then after that the second reason is to understandable to the viewers or the audience or management, and the third reason is to the presentation give us the knowledge about the content. Means it shows that the speaker have the proper knowledge of the content or not.
Correct, absolutely correct, very good, excellent. And what was the second topic we have discussed? Somebody else, not you.
Rules of effective presentation.
So, what are the rules which you have learned?
The first is through research of the topic. Means we need to understand the topic. We have to present in front of other peoples. We have the knowledge of
peoples. Not peoples, not peoples. It's people. People is a collective word.
In front of people, that we know about. I should know about the topic that I need to present to management, to in front of customer, in front of anybody.
Right. Secondly, from this side, anybody? Second point.
Perfect.
Don't look at the board. Tell me.
It's a perfect body language, because if I'm standing like this and speak the backward of the board, and so it's body language.
Means don't face your back towards the audience, right?
Yes.
Okay. And what else?
Without feel hesitate, and speak be loud, and speak be confident and
speak with confidence, right?
Yes,
exactly.
And convincing is more important in the presentation, because if the audience be confident with me, and so that's my presentation is better.
So how will you convince your audience?
So eye contact is must.
Correct, absolutely correct.
And second of not means ki speak in Hindi.
But try to speak in English. In fact, it will improve your communication, because see, if you have to give a presentation, an HR and admin presentation as well, because I have seen a lot of times HR, my company, the HR department has given lots and lots of presentation. So if you have to have a breakthrough, you have to speak in, you have to present yourself in English. You have to give the presentation in English. So try as much as possible to speak in English, because Sandeep Maheshwari has told a very important point. Sandeep Maheshwari told that हम लोग जो इंग्लिश में बातें करते हैं, हिंदी में बात करते हैं, हिंदी में सोचते भी हैं, वो हम लोग बातें करते हैं. सोचना और बोलना में difference is so small that people is not being able to understand what mistakes we are committing. क्योंकि we are fluent in हिंदी. लेकिन इंग्लिश में क्या होता है, हम लोग हिंदी में सोचते हैं, बोलते हैं इंग्लिश में. That means हिंदी में सोचते हैं, वो कन्वर्ट करते हैं इंग्लिश में, फिर बोलते हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, मैं अपना फ्रेंड के मतलब घर में जाऊंगा. That I'm going to go to my friend's house. ये मैं घर पे जाऊंगा, ये मैं सोच लिया. अभी इसको मैं कन्वर्ट करूंगा इंग्लिश में. ये थॉट, this thought process needs to be converted into English. Then I'm going to speak. That takes time. And अगर ये हट जाए, ये जो barrier है, ये जो obstacle है, if we start thinking in English, then we will be able to represent in English very quickly, like fraction of a second. ये problem हट जाएगा. ठीक है? Start thinking in English. Then it will be very fluent to speak in English. हम हिंदी में सोचते हैं, बोलते हैं अंग्रेजी में. So for what happens, you need to convert that thought of Hindi into English. Then you speak. That takes time. That is difficult. So ये सोचना, हिंदी में सोचना ही बंद कर दो. इंग्लिश में सोचना शुरू कर दो. If you think in English, that any content or subject, if you think in English, then you can represent in English and you can speak very fluently, and there will be no gap. The gap will be very small. Just like when you speak in Hindi, तुम सब हिंदी में माहिर हो, अंग्रेजी में भी माहिर हो, but what happens? You get stuck somewhere. Why this is because तुम हिंदी में सोचते हो.
How can we start thinking English?
English means you start reading books. You write. You write for example, you come back home from your office, you start writing your daily routine from morning till night, what I have done in English. Secondly, you start reading books, articles, newspapers in English. That will help you to increase your vocabulary. Vocabulary increase हो जाएगा. Your stock of words will increase. हम लोग फंबल क्यों करते हैं? हम लोग मतलब फंबल या स्टैमर क्यों करते हैं? Because we fall short of words. We fall short of words.
Basically, because while we converting to these things, we are trying to convert our Hindi into English into perfect grammar. And we have a very little of.
देखो हिंदी ग्रामर और अंग्रेजी ग्रामर में बहुत फर्क है. If you want to convert Hindi grammar into English grammar, it won't work. It won't work at all. क्योंकि हिंदी ग्रामर में जो है, you won't be able to find out in English grammar. It's not possible because it's a hell lot of difference between the two. So start how to gain thought in English, how to think in English. Start thinking, reading books, reading newspapers, watch English news on television, and start writing by yourself what you have done for the entire day from morning till night. मतलब उन्होंने कह रहा था संदीप महेश्वरी कि जब I'm still not good in English. I always converse with the public in Hindi. He's saying that. But what I do is that I go back home every evening and I start writing. And the words which I write in English are the funniest word in the world. They seems to be so funny. The sentence construction is not correct. The grammar is awful. But now that was 15 years back. Now when I read those letters, you can write a letter to your friend in English as well.
Yes, sir.
So there what happens, your vocabulary increases, right? So there what happens is that when he's saying that right now after 15 years, when I'm reading through those letters, it makes me laugh. So what's the funny language which I have written 15 years back? I think this is a kind of improvement. It's a step for improvement. It's a single step. It's a first step for improvement. You can read, you listen to English music, English songs, you read English articles, you can watch English news, and you can write by yourself as well. Start adopting the habit of writing, which will help you to, that will make you what? That will make you self-confident. That will increase your confidence.